Japan fell into this very unusual disease almost 20 years ago. And for very many years, no one understood why, with near zero interest rates and a lot of government spending, economy still is stuck. I mean, if you bring interest rates down to zero, economy should be taking off. But it did not happen in Japan. And then I came up with this concept of balance sheet recessions, because I noticed that Japanese private sector was not borrowing money at all. They're actually paying down debt at zero interest rates. And we never learned this in universities, right? Companies are not supposed to pay down debt when interest rates are zero. They should be borrowing money. It occurred to me why that should be the case. And the only reason companies should pay down debt when interest rates are zero is because the company has a balance sheet problem. That is excess debt. When the company have excess debt, or debt overhang we call it in English, then they have to reduce it. And that's the right thing to do for the individual companies. But when everybody does it all at the same time, then the economy starts contracting very rapidly, because in an economy, if someone is saving money, someone else should be borrowing money. And in the usual world, people like Nomura, Morgan Stanley, Citibank, in the middle, the financial types, will take the money from the savers, give it to someone who can use it. And if there are too many borrowers, interest rates are raised. Too few borrowers, interest rates are lowered. Make sure that this money is circulating. But when the borrowers stop borrowing, instead of stop paying down debt, even with zero interest rates, then the whole thing breaks down. In that situation, only government borrowing and spending can keep this income stream going. And that's basically how Japan survived last 22 years. And then after 2007, you see exactly the same pattern in Europe, United States, UK. You look at their private sectors, you notice that they're all paying down debt or increasing savings at near zero interest rates, just like Japan 15 years ago. I'm happy to tell you that at least the Obama administration, the people at the White House, they are fully aware of this concept of balance sheet recession now. Many of them read my book, we talked a lot, they all understand this risk. And Chairman Bernanke of the Federal Reserve, who also understand this risk of balance sheet recession, are also warning the American people. But this is a new concept, this balance sheet recession. It's not in economic textbooks, it's not in business schools. And so it's difficult for the people listening it for the first time. Why should the government run deficit when I, a private citizen, cannot run a deficit? The companies cannot run deficit. Why should the government run a deficit? It's a very simple, naive reaction. That's the majority. And the minority who understand that this is a new disease that has to be cured, they have a difficulty explaining the rest. And that's why it hasn't happened yet in a way that I really like to see.